wishing for the kind of love you see in magazines. The illusion falls and nothing's what it seems to be. And the part left is hurting deep inside of me. Heard a whisper, someone saw you at the bar. Was it the same night you had trouble with your car? It's getting old, I've heard your stories told 1,000 times. Baby, you are using the same old lines. I'll leave it all behind. I wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking you off my mind. Walking down the street, the rain is pouring down. But my feet are walking to a different sound. I'll leave the bitter taste of love, come back, I'm finally free. The mirror I can see a different me. I'll leave it all behind. I wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking you off my mind. Love is gone, and there's no road leading us back home. This ain't the first time, but it's the last time. At the bottom of the barrel, there's no love to be found. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking you off my mind.
Alrighty, we popped out quickly just for a few things before the snow comes. I wouldn't call them necessities, but you never know. So we got some more raw milk, and they're selling it at a place that's a little closer, so I'm pretty excited for that. And then we did get some canning jars. Hold on. Got some canning jars from Tractor Supply. I don't know. I'm all over the place with jars, but my favorite lids are from Denali. I will link them down below. They're the ones that also made the dehydrator, which I need to be using later on today, but got 2 of those. My pressure canner fits 5 of these, and then 5 of the regular mouth, and then 4 of the wide mouth, but I need wide mouth for tinctures, so that's where I'm going with that. And then I did get some beets. I'm going to make a tincture today. I think I'll film it and put it in this video. We'll see what happens, but we'll talk about the benefits of that. And then I got some kielbasa. I wanted to pressure can kielbasa and beans and just have that as a complete meal. Maybe some bell pepper and onion. I really love canning because you can do meals in a jar, and I feel like it could be a meal prep, just I don't know, to have it ready for the month so you can grab and go. A lot of people debate about canning and how it cans out most of the nutrients. I feel safe doing it with beans because you have to cook it pretty high anyways. Typically people are, you know, Instapotting cans if they're not getting it from a can. So for beans, I just don't feel like that is accurate, but everybody has their own opinion. When it comes to vegetables, though, I can see why people would say that. So I do like to ferment, but I also like to pickle, and that's what I need to do with the peppers today. And then sausage just adds that smokiness, kielbasa, whatever you want to do. So I got some beans, and then I got apple cider, because if I'm snowed in, a little apple cider margarita sounds good. Don't have any tequila, though, so we might have to pop out again. Just kidding. No, there's whiskey chili over here, so we'll go with that. And then we have some white distilled vinegar, and I just need that for some pickling of peppers and things like that. So I'm going to get this put away. I will catch up with you in a second. I'm going to make some lunch for the kids as well. Okay, quick mom hack. I have this salad kit that I just put together. I like to add avocado to it or black beans and then some raw cheese, but this has been happening a lot, and we used to have chickens and ducks, as you know, so we could give things like this to the chickens and ducks and they love it. But these are organic Macintosh apples, by far my favorite fruit in the entire world, like down to the actual apple. Macintosh are my favorite. Anyways, it pains me to see them go to waste. So what I've been doing is adding it to my salads. But if you have apples specifically, you can take the skin off them and then save them to make your own apple cider vinegar, and then use the insides and put it in a jar, and then cover that jar with like a splash of apple cider and filtered water, and then keep that in the fridge. It probably lasts up to a week, so we can definitely do this in a week, but it depends on your situation. At the end of it, when you have all those half-eaten apple chunks in that, I guess it's not even a brine, it's just keeping it so it doesn't brown essentially, and it's keeping it crispy, then you can take it and make it into applesauce or something like that. But that's what I like doing, so we don't have too much food waste. But it's nice to use the whole apple, so you can use the core as well as the skins for your apple cider. And I'm just going to put it in apple cider vinegar, and I'm just going to put it in a big glass jar and then have some ferment rocks on top of it, and then there we go. So we use apple cider for a ton of things, but just a small little hack that I just thought of. Girl, you steal my beans. Did you steal my beans, you silly rabbit? You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, we're making some chili powder. Y has some water, and what else did we add in here so we can get it clean? Do you remember? Vinegar, right. Yep, so he's stirring that around. We're going to let those soak, and I like making chili powder because it's super easy. I don't need to cut anything, so I'm just going to put these on my dehydrator trays. And we're going 6 to 10 hours at 145. I usually go the full 10, so it's 3:45 now. By the time they'll be done, I'll just take them out in the morning. Yeah, I see that. And you can store these in jars, or you can take a mortar and pestle and grind that down. You could take food processor, grind it down, a blender, or you could just add it as is. But this is quite the haul. This isn't even half of the peppers, but right now that's what we're going to do. And then the rest of the peppers we will do some pickled peppers with, right? All right, I have the dehydrator loaded up here. I went ahead and did every other, so this will probably take 2 batches, but it's great because it can just go in the background while you're doing other things. And I really like doing this with peppers just because they usually all dry out with that thickness right around 10 hours. So disregard my idea to do 6 to 10 hours and just go for the 10 if you have the thick peppers. Okay, I turned it on, but this is the Beast from Denali. I think my discount gets you 10% off, so I will link it. It's under $200, very inexpensive for what you can do with this. And this is a good beginner self-preservation tool to have in the kitchen if you're not comfortable with canning. I really do love dehydrating. You could go the route of freeze drying, but that is going to cost you a lot up front. So this was my first thing to have in the kitchen when it came to preserving some of my garden harvest, and I think it's helpful, especially if you're working with medicinals. So we will see this in 10 hours, and I'm going to get on to the beetroot tincture. I'm going to attempt a voiceover with a very tiny assistant here. She may be loud, but this is a beetroot tincture. It's super easy. All you do is cut up a beet. You don't have to skin it. You need that skin for extra medicinal purposes, and then you top it with 100 proof. Unless you can only get 80 proof, then that's what you get. And now that I'm watching this back, I apologize for the orientation, but sometimes I'm filming for YouTube and Instagram, and it's just easier for me to film like this. So apologies. I will try and be more, I guess, artistic about this. But beetroot tincture, incredible for high blood pressure, incredible for high cholesterol. It's just a powerhouse. It really does contain those anti-inflammatory properties that we all need. If you look at your inflammation, most people have it. It just leads to a vast variety of issues. So this is great if you cannot eat beets every day. Most of us aren't doing that. I got this idea from She Is of the Woods. I talk about April April a lot. If you're not following her, head on over. She is just so knowledgeable, especially when it comes to medicinal healing with plants. She has a lot to say about some of the industries kind of creeping into the wellness space, I guess you can say, and it's just been so refreshing to hear her take on it. So beetroot tincture, all you do is cut the beets up, you pour alcohol over it, sits on the shelf for 6 weeks, and then you can take little tiny microdoses of this. You're not taking shots. April says it all the time. No shots. You're just taking drops essentially. So I'm trying to not be so jumbled here, but we have a lot going on. I wanted to explain this to you. The rest of the video will be back in the kitchen, but I wanted to take you along throughout my day and show you what I do beyond homeschool and kind of where we are in this transition period. I'm still making things from scratch. I'm trying to save as much money as possible, but I'm also trying to heal us and other family members, so this is a good one. Today we're doing some baking. We're going to start with these soft pretzels. We're going to do yeast, warm water, flour, and salt. Pretty easy. I'm excited. This is part of my Amish style cookbook. I also found some potato buns in here, but it calls for a lot of flour. It's going to feed a lot of people, so we're going to have to cut that. And then I did see one little treat in here. I like funnel cakes, but maybe we'll do some sort of pumpkin roll or something. But I'm excited. Here we go. All right, the pretzels are in the oven, and next is going to be the potato buns. We don't need this much, so I'm gonna try my best to maybe quarter this recipe. And please, if you are confused here, I will leave all of the measurements in the description box, and then I want to try and create something on the screen here because I am filming in like an Instagram reel style, so I hope this helps. You need sugar, Wesson oil, warm water, bread flour, potatoes. Like the only difference we would be doing, oh my gosh, that's not going. Only difference we would be doing is avocado oil instead of Wesson oil, and then the 2 cups of sugar. We might do honey, I don't know. That just seems super sweet to us. I might even just leave it out or just not add that much because we don't need that much. If you want a fluffy bun, this is perfect. Add your mashed potatoes. It's amazing. These came out of the oven. We popped out for a bite to eat, and I needed to share this amazing recipe that I will be doing at some point. They are pierogi with Reuben. So it has corned beef, it has sauerkraut, it has Thousand Island, and a cheese sauce, and it's phenomenal. It fed me for 3 meals. It was crazy good. We're going to make some, but came back to the peppers. This did take quite a bit of time just because I did not poke enough holes and my pepper. So my second batch I sliced up. My only problem with that is it gets on my fingernails. Obviously, it gets on my fingers. So in order to not burn myself and my family with all of those, I guess oils on my fingers, I needed to use like an abrasive soap. Didn't have any, so I used a sugar scrub and took an extra shower, but honestly, it just stays on you, and I didn't want to burn the baby. Myself, I can handle, but I just didn't want to hurt the kids. So that's why I don't usually cut it, but I just went ahead and cut it with gloves, and it was so much easier the second batch. But all I did here was put it in the food processor. You could use a blender. You could use that mortar and pestle if you wanted to. It just takes a little bit more time. I would suggest maybe even wearing a mask with this. I know that's ridiculous, but these powders get super fine, and it can get into your nostrils depending on how hot you like your peppers. So anyways, I went ahead and filled up 2 jars of this and dropped it off at a family member's, and we still have more to come. So I'm excited. The kids had a good time doing this, and that dehydrator is incredible. I believe they're running a Black Friday sale. Again, I will drop it in the comment section. You can also get free jar lids if you sign up for it. I believe you have to pay $5 for shipping, but yeah, I'm going to end the video with a heavy metal detox and just a nice sit on my couch here. All I did was spray 5 shots of TRS in there, and it has been phenomenal. I've been taking it for 2 weeks now, and I feel not incredible, but I feel better, and it's totally worth it in my opinion. So I will drop that in the comments below. Hope you're doing good wherever you are, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all.